Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. This is awesome. My name is Skylar McLeod. I am the Senior Director of Media Education here at BRIC, and I just want to welcome you all to the space. You're all in the artist studio. We have awesome events and public performances and classes and art exhibitions. So if you're new to BRIC, check out our website for all the upcoming festivities. Before we get started, I'd like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the territory of the Canarsie and Munsee Lenape people, who have stewarded this land throughout the generations. We thank them for their strength and resilience in protecting this land and aspire to uphold our responsibilities according to their example. So in BRIC Media Education, we strive to do a lot of things, but the main thing is access to our space, access to our facilities and our cameras, and access to wonderful opportunities like what you're going to see tonight. We've had a wonderful relationship with Real Sisters for over 5 years. We've helped incubate over 230 writers during this time, which is amazing, and we've helped usher them into writing careers. And we've helped train them in video production to actualize these scripts. So this is a really wonderful, wonderful partnership, wonderful collaboration, and I'm just so excited and delighted that everyone's here tonight. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Carolyn from Real Sisters to talk a little bit about the program and what's going to happen tonight.
All right. I'm so excited to be here today. I want to first give a round of applause to our writers here, our 4 writers. I just want to say Script Writing Essentials, the art of writing strong female characters, is all about helping women of color develop their work from scripts. And these amazing writers actually spent, 4 days of intensive working on their scripts to transform their scripts into a version of what you're going to see today. Most of all, for everyone here, I think the question in your mind is, would you like to see these works on Netflix or on the big screen? So, there's going to be a portion where you're going to be able to interact and talk to the writers and, just give honest feedback of what you think of all their characters. And in the house, yeah. So I want to really just say thanks to my staff. You've seen Turquoise Baker, you've seen Reese Williams, and to the BRIC staff especially for embracing this idea in 2018 when we said we wanted to create a warm space for writers to create. And they were just so accepting and welcoming. And it went from one screenwriting workshop to a whole series to now a whole reading and a summer lab. So that's amazing. And a little bit about Real Sisters. We're the first Oscar qualifying festival in the nation for women of color. So that is a big deal. There are only 60 film festivals that qualify for Oscar qualifying status. We also, our parent organization, African Voices, we publish a literary magazine. And so writing is the critical component of what we do at African Voices and Real Sisters. And without further ado, I want to introduce you to the host of the evening who has helped put all this together with David from BRIC and Sky and everyone. So our screenwriting coordinator, Sandrine Dupaton. She is a motivational goddess, number 1. She is a playwright in her own right and a poet, and we are just blessed to have her here tonight as our wonderful host. Okay.
Y'all gonna have to clap louder for me. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Welcome, everybody. First of all, give a round of applause for yourselves. It's cold outside, and y'all came out here, if I recall. All right. So, my people, I had to stand. I was standing over here. Am I good? Can I stand anywhere I want? Okay, great. All right. So, we're going to do a couple of practice things so we can warm ourselves up, get familiar with each other, and get familiar with the evening. Y'all game? Y'all good for that? Okay. So the most important thing y'all have to do as a crowd is to be encouraging and to be present, right? So I get to move around. I don't get to move around. I'm glad I figured that out now instead of later. Okay, so great. So testing some things out. The first thing is, let me just play a sound for you, this is just so you know what I'm into, the kind of host that I'm into. You ready for a sound? This is the only gadget I have for the evening. Hold on one second. Let's see. Beam it up. Okay. Okay, that's what I'm on today. All right, so I'm going to frame the evening. This is how it's going to go. I'm going to introduce the writer. All four of them, all four of the lovelies are over here. Clap it up for the four writers. All right. So I'm going to introduce them, read their bios, give a synopsis of the script, and then the actors, I believe, will be on stage or something behind me or something like that. And then they will read, act, perform, entertain us. And then we'll have an opportunity to ask questions of the writer. So then the writer will come to the center mic, and I will come into the crowd, and if you have any questions, raise your hand. I'll come over to you, and we'll do that for a few minutes, and then Nick over here, not to bring attention to you. Nick is waving. If Nick says, cut the questions, it's over. And we on to the next one. All right, you get it? Got it? All right. Clap it up one more time. All right, the last thing we got to get together is how we clap and get these folks on the stage, because we have to get it warmed up for them. So we're going to practice now. All right, so first, how many of y'all play golf? Anybody play golf? Ever watch golf on TV? Do you know what a golf clap is? Okay, you know what a golf clap is. If you just follow whatever's happening around you. We're gonna start with a golf clap. It's real. Yes. Oh, lovely. Oh, be quiet. Okay. So then we're gonna escalate that, and by the time, we'll say the golf clap is a 2. By the time I get to 9, we're gonna clap like our favorite artist has just stepped into the building. You don't know these people, but tonight they're your favorite artists. We good with that? Okay, so let's start with a 2. Okay, we're gonna take it up to a 5. Very good. 6, 7. Who's your favorite artist? Who's your favorite artist? Somebody say a name. Say a name. What's your favorite artist? Doja Cat. Okay, okay. Well, Doja, clap like Doja just walked in. 9, please. Okay, very good. We're great. Okay, we're great. Okay, so excellent. That's what y'all gonna be doing. We are an excellent audience. Our first act, our first script tonight will be Sanctuary, York City by Magali Judith. So I'll tell you about Magali, and then by the time I get to the synopsis, unless y'all rehearse this differently, and then the actors can get on stage with me. All right, Sanctuary, York City. Magali Judith is a New York-based writer, journalist, and video producer with extensive experience creating content for digital, social, international press agencies, and broadcast television. Born and raised in Paris, France, with Caribbean origins, she focuses her stories on questions of mixing and finding belonging. She moved to New York in 2018 to help launch the American division of a French media outlet. Now a freelancer, she has written for text-based newspapers and magazines, and produced a wide range of web projects and videos on political and social issues. Basically, what you need to know is Magali is a big deal. Yes? Magali! Yeah! All right, so what we're getting into, #immigrant, #belonging. Here we go. Synopsis of this dramedy series follows Amelie. Did I say that right? Yeah, Amelie? A French mixed-race journalist who moves to New York City to launch the American division of a French media outlet. She navigates cultural challenges in the workplace, but soon realizes her salary is insufficient for New York City living. Remember that guy, the rent's too damn high? I miss him. Meanwhile, her apartment situation worsens as she fights eviction, but with clever tactics and the help of her new friends, she manages to overcome her misadventures and enjoy New York life until an untimely event casts doubt on her future in the USA. So our team of professionals tonight, yes, y'all. Okay, we have Huey Omar Mays. You can wave to the crowd. Rita, oh yeah. Give him some love. Rita Benz-Liman. Paula Gadala Maria. Giovanna Mishkosha. I said it, yes. All right, and Noor Noman. All right. Without further ado, we're going to do the clapping thing. One last time, I promise. I'm not going to bother y'all. Okay, I'm lying. All right, 3, 7, 9. Clap it up. Give it up for Sanctuary York City. Thank you.
Fade in. Exterior. JFK Airport, day. An airplane lands as we see the Manhattan skyline in the background. It's winter in New York. Interior, JFK Airport, continuous. Amélie Elisabeth, a light brown-skinned French woman in her late 20s, strolls down the jetway. We can see her handing her passport to the airport customs officer with a big smile. Finally, she exits the airport with 3 suitcases. Outside the terminal, she gets into a cab. Interior, taxi, continuous.
Where are you going?
319 Sumter Street. It's in Bedford Stuyvesant.
What?
It's here. Look. Oh, sorry.
Okay, gotcha. It's Bedford-Stuyvesant.
I was super close.
Amelie's face lights up with excitement as she gazes around, absorbing the bustling urban panorama. The wailing of an NYPD patrol car pierces the air. In another car, a group of individuals crank up their music to maximum volume. The taxi driver glances at her through the rearview mirror.
Where are you from?
I'm from Paris, in France.
Are there any other cities named Paris in this world?
Well, you tell me. Have you ever heard of Paris, Texas? They even have a small Eiffel Tower over there.
Touché. First time here?
No, it's my second, but it still feels magical.
How long are you here for?
At least 2 years. I'm actually moving to New York City.
Congrats. And you already found a job, right?
Yes, I'm a video journalist.
Oh, that's good. So you're all set then?
Yeah, I wish.
A hushed silence envelops them both. Amélie gazes out the window, quite upset. The taxi pulls up at the Airbnb, unveiling a brownstone house.
Here you are. Don't forget to tip. French people are bad at it.
Okay, here is 25%. Is that enough?
Yep. Thank you.
Exterior, Bed-Stuyvesant Street, continuous. The taxi driver steps out of the vehicle and opens the trunk. Amélie joins him at the rear of the car.
I'm not supposed to help you with your 3 big suitcases.
Well, thank you so much then.
Amélie gathers her suitcases as the taxi leaves.
He got a 25% tip and has the nerve to tell me this? That's so lame. Ugh.
She struggles to lift her suitcases up the brownstone house steps. Gazing at screenshots of Airbnb instructions on her phone, she suddenly realizes that the entrance is located beneath the main staircase on the ground floor. She tediously moves her heavy luggage back down and grapples with the unfamiliar smart locker system, feeling a touch bewildered.
What the?
She enters the code and fails.
Ugh.
She takes a deep breath and enters the code once more. The smart lock responds with yet another error sound. Amélie persists, trying repeatedly, but nothing seems to cooperate. She gets exasperated and taps her feet. Closing her eyes, she releases a hefty sigh, producing a visible puff of breath due to the chilly outdoor temperature. She then turns her attention back to her phone and regains her composure.
Wi-Fi. I need Wi-Fi.
Emily contorts herself, striving to inch closer to the house in search of a strong Wi-Fi connection. She manages to dial a phone number on WhatsApp, and we hear 2 rings before it suddenly cuts off. Frustration boils within her, causing her to scan her surroundings anxiously. She then darts towards a passerby on the sidewalk.
Excuse me, hi, sorry to bother you. I'm locked out of my Airbnb. I just arrived from France and I have no phone service to contact the Airbnb owner. Would you mind calling him for me, please?
Yeah, sure. What's the number?
Here it is.
Amelie shows screenshots of the phone number to the passerby, who dials the number on his own device. Cut to exterior. Airbnb staircase, Bed-Stuy, dusk time. Seated on the steps of the brownstone house, Amelie patiently awaits the arrival of the Airbnb owner.
Amelia?
Amélie, yes.
Hi, sorry for the delay. I told you last minute about the faulty locker and sent you a message to call me ahead of time so that I could meet you. I was running some errands and it took way longer than expected.
They both enter the house.
No worries. I've been traveling since 5 a.m. Paris time and I have no service and no 4G to contact people here, so that's why we both got confused. I just need to drop off my stuff and go directly to Greenpoint as I'm already late to see an apartment.
Sure, your room is right up there.
While Emily struggles to climb her suitcases one by one up the stairs, the Airbnb owner stands at the staircase's base watching her.
Oh, and let me remind you of the rules. No smoking, no cooking in the kitchen, and keep your time downstairs to under 30 minutes.
Yeah. Whatever.
Exterior, interior, Greenpoint apartment, night. As her Uber departs, Amelie steps into the apartment building. When the elevator arrives at her floor, its doors open directly into the apartment. Inside, Amelie is greeted by her future roommates, Manon, a French-American woman in her late 20s, and Chiara, a 30-something Italian woman who identifies as queer.
Wow, hi, nice to meet you. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. Which one of you is Manon?
Salut, it's me. Welcome to our apartment.
Amelie notices the skyline through the window as she goes into the living room.
Oh my God, that view is insane.
I know. Oh, and this is Kiara. She's my new roommate and potentially yours too.
Hi, nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. Do you want something to drink, a glass of water, or I have Prosecco? You want some?
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, have a seat. Let's get to know each other a little bit.
Amelie sits on the couch, still amazed at the skyline view.
So, tell us more about you. Manon told me you were a French journalist.
Yeah, I'm working for Boom, which is originally a social media outlet that's performing super well in France. And I helped launch the American version from Paris, and now they want to keep developing it here in the US. So here I am.
Great. And you're the only one working in New York?
No, thank God. We were only 3 people producing videos from France at the beginning, but they've hired a managing editor and staff to launch the American division officially. I've only been working virtually with them, but I'm seeing them in person for the first time Monday.
Wow, that's exciting. But wait, your bosses can get you an apartment? Tell me they'll at least pay your rent.
Oh, no, we didn't discuss anything. Right now I'm staying at the cheapest Airbnb I found.
Wow, that's harsh.
Yep, it is what it is. And what do you do, guys?
I'm a consultant for an Italian company. It's quite boring. I'll spare you the details about what I'm doing on an everyday basis, but let's put it this way. I just need to find my next adventure in life.
I totally get it. And I won't ask him any more questions, at least for now.
As for me, I work for a French lingerie brand named Frivole. I'm sure you've heard of it, right?
Yes, of course. They've opened many stores in France. I didn't know they were expanding in the US. But wait, you're also American? Or do you just speak American English perfectly? You have no accent at all.
My dad is French and my mom is French-American. I was raised in the French side of St. Martin in the Caribbean. But when I started in high school, my mom sent me here to learn English because we spoke French at home.
Oh my God, my dad's family is from Guadeloupe. My grandmother still lives there.
Shut up. We're neighbors. That's awesome. Yeah, Guadeloupe is another French Caribbean island, super close to St. Martin.
Oh, okay. I got lost for a second.
Yeah, I could tell seeing your face. Okay, let me show you to your bedroom.
The 3 of them stand up and go to the bedroom.
As I told you, it's listed at $1,500 per month. Honestly, it's a steal. You'll never find this apartment for the same price anywhere else.
Really? To be honest, it's quite expensive for me, but I'm coming from a place where everything is more affordable, I guess, even though Parisian rents have skyrocketed.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm from Rome, which is so cheap compared to New York, but finding an affordable apartment here is a pain in the ass. Same for finding decent roommates. People are so creepy sometimes, or they have weird rules, and that's a huge red flag to me.
I know it's quite a shock for you guys, but you better get used to it. And by the way, this apartment is rent controlled. It means they won't raise the rent drastically for over the years.
Okay, and you're on the lease, right?
No, Kiara and I are subletting the apartment from a finance guy who's now doing business in Europe.
Okay, but when is he coming back? Do I have to show him my proof of income and any guarantor? I don't have a credit score for now, as I've just arrived here.
Don't worry, you won't deal with him. We're using the Venmo app to wire him the rent. I'll show you all the details. But I'm the one deciding who's living with me. That's a deal I got with him when he left. He's away for at least 2 years, so you'll have time here. And if you leave, you just have to give him a 1 month notice.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'll let you know. My only concern is the price. Can I give you an answer tomorrow or Sunday?
Sure, I'm showing the room to another girl tomorrow morning. If she wants to take the room and we have a good feeling with her, she'll get it. Sorry, but we've been trying to find the perfect match for quite some time now. We're so tired of showing the apartment. But we really liked you, right?
Yeah, please come live with us.
Worst case scenario, it's a month to month. You can try, and if it's too expensive, you'll look for another bedroom elsewhere.
Amelie nods while thinking.
I mean, ideally, I wouldn't want you to leave after a month, but if it's too much, I get it. So,
Okay, I'm taking it.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're super nice, and the apartment's neat. The Airbnb I'm staying at has weird rules. I'm not even allowed to cook. I mean, can you believe it? So, when can I move in?
Sunday? A cleaning lady will come tomorrow afternoon to do the whole apartment, so your room is going to be all set by the time you move in.
Thanks.
They all go back to the living room.
What else do you have planned for the weekend?
Lots of stuff. I need to open a bank account. I don't know if I'll ever have time, but I need to get a new SIM card with 5G. Having no service in a new city is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you better get that ASAP or you're dead in here.
Yep, working on it. Sorry, I'm so tired. It's 2 a.m. in France and I barely slept on the plane. I better get going. It was so nice to meet you both. I'm glad I found you guys and the apartment.
They head towards the elevator. Manon presses the elevator button.
We're glad too. Get home safe and text us if you have any questions.
The elevator door slides open and Amelie steps inside. Her gaze sweeps over the array of buttons and a moment of hesitation takes hold.
What button should I press?
It's always the number one. In the US, the first floor is the ground floor. It's different from France. See? You need me as a roommate.
That's right. See you Sunday then. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
My mic on? Okay. Thank you. We're going to have to coordinate how we bow or something at the end here. So, all right, Magali, here you go, center. Let's clap it up for Magali, please. All right, so this is our first crack at it. Basically, if you have any questions, you raise your hand, I'll come over to you, and you can ask it. But I will help at least frame some of the things we're looking for. So questions like, what inspired this? Or a specific character that you're curious about, you wanted to know more about. Something in the story that struck you as interesting or captivating in some way. Or an appreciation of the writing. Anything in that frame is acceptable. I do reserve the right to, if you have, no, I'm just playing. We welcome your questions. No, there you go. Okay. All right, so does anyone have a burning question before I go out there? Or should I ask the first one? I'll ask the first. No problem. I'll take the
They're
lead.
shy.
They're shy. We're going to warm up. I should have put plants in the... Now that I think of it. Thinking about one person, actually. I think she knows who I'm talking about. You the plant. All right, so here we go. Why did you write this, Magali? What is this about?
So it's based on my own experience as a French person. I don't know if you can hear that. No, so basically, just like when I arrived in New York City, it was just like really intimidating. Even though I was used to the American culture and New York, the series, the movies, everything is about New York. So okay, great, I knew it, so I felt confident. But then there's lots of struggles that I didn't even picture when I moved here. So basically, this is the reason why I want to address that in this series, and to bring some humor also into this story, because also I wish that I had this series or another piece of art to just help me cope with the moving parts and adapting to a new culture. And new ways of thinking also, like for example, like when I got here, I didn't know that my insurance was telling me to go to one doctor's and not the other one across the street or whatever. Like there's some new stuff that I didn't picture, and I couldn't have imagined them. So that's why I was just like, maybe I can just address that in a series. And basically, like, the series is more about, it's an American story, but through the perspective of an immigrant. So that's it.
Wonderful. And timely. I mean, not to get into the politics, but I mean, it's a relevant topic today. All right. So I do want to say that We Feed is going to forever be in my mind from now on.
This is the way we're saying it.
We Feed. All right. Okay. So now, any questions out there?
But also I think that even for Americans, because they might not, you might say that they might not relate to my story, but I think that it's also like a series about finding belonging in another land. So whether you're going to a new city or a new country or finding a new job also. So it's more about this, like addressing the fact that, you know, like all of your perspectives are just like changed suddenly. And I think that everyone can relate to that. I think that the pandemic just addressed that at some point. Like we're just like navigating and maneuvering in a changing world. And so this is what's happening for Amélie, but I think that people can relate to that. So, yeah.
Beautiful. All right. So anyone else have a question? Oh, absolutely. Yes. Well, and I want y'all to know that this particular be careful. This particular woman was an alum of this program this summer. So we're going to clap it up for her, too. Hey,
give it up for Kamur.
Yes, Kamur.
Well, because I know Magali, so I'm going to ask her a question. So are you going to deal with anything like you said, it's less,
yes.
Okay, less expensive where you come from than where you are living now.
Mm-hmm.
So there, you probably didn't have a roommate. So here, you have two more people you have to deal with now. So that's something else to deal with, and that, struggle of.
I mean, like, is it me or is it the character?
The character. Yeah, the character. The character. Was the character living alone before she moved to?
No, I don't think so, no.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, I mean, I don't think so, because, like, it's not a thing. Like, if you want to leave, like, compared to, I mean, she was living in Paris, and basically it was just like, if you want to have an apartment on your own, like, it's just like teeny tiny. Right. So I think that she had roommates, and she also had roommates when she was studying. Okay. So she used to that. But the thing is, I think that, I don't know if I want to address that yet, but the thing is just like her roommates in France were friends that she has known for quite some time. And in New York City, I think that I want to address the fact that, like, everyone has rules. So it's more like when you're with stranger people, like, it's just like you have to respect the rules. So I want to address this kind of thing with also weird roommates and weird rules.
Okay, so then in terms of rules, like, I would imagine the journalism in France is different than the journalism in the United States, because here it's kind of slanted and propagandized. And if it leads, it bleeds. And
so it's more about like like the way journalism is in France, from my, and not Amélie, like let's be from my perspective, is just that in France you have to be neutral in a way. And so even myself, when I'm covering because I'm still a journalist, and when I'm covering some protest or whatever. Like I don't have to put my thought into it. And I remember that, for example, for the election night, November 2020, I ended up covering a Trump supporter headquarters. And I remember that I was sharing something on my Instagram, and someone that I barely knew was just like, what the F is happening? Who are you? Whatever. I'm just like, hey, reminder, I'm just a journalist. So I'm here. I'm just covering the things. So that's the reason why. It doesn't mean that I'm a pro-Trump. So it's more about that, like the fact that at some point, you're like, we're supposed to, in France, you're supposed to be neutral, and you cannot also show on your social media, who you're rooting for or whatever. You cannot say that I'm voting for Hillary or I'm voting for Trump. You cannot say that. Definitely not. Unless you're a columnist. It's another category. So that's the reason why. It's just like the difference is like this.
Terrific. Awesome. I'm out here. Y'all got questions? You good? Go back over there. Okay. All right. Can we clap it up one more time for Magali?
I have a question.
Yeah. And do you have one more thing you want to share before we send you off?
No, I want just like a feedback about what you liked. So if someone can tell me what you liked about like some specific moments, or what you didn't like, it's now or never. I mean, if yeah.
I really appreciated the dryness of the Roman character, especially with Roman women.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Roman dryness.
That's good to know.
Okay. Is there somebody in the back? Okay. You want to speak loud?
I used to live in Greenpoint. I'd like to know where this apartment is.
Ha! Where's this apartment, Marguerite?
It's nearby the waterfront, Franklin and India Street, something like this. Around this. You want the number?
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Magali.
Thank you so much.
One more time for Magali. Here we go. All right, we're getting warmed up. Our next writer is Morgan Smith, and I'm going to talk about Morgan for your stage name. I'm sorry, what's your stage name again? Oh, excuse me. I'm Morgan Alicia Smith. Get it right. Excuse me. Oh, apologies profuse. Morgan Alicia Smith is a New York-based filmmaker who was drawn to production at an early age. After directing her first play at age 17, Morgan earned her undergraduate degree in geology. Man. Post-graduation, she found a path back to stories by writing and producing for Milwaukee PBS and broadcast news in Wisconsin and Texas. Very interesting. Later, she landed a gig creating motion graphics, producing and directing the Jumbotron show for a minor league hockey team in Austin. This is just all over the place. So interesting. Still, Morgan made time for a creative personal life by writing plays for local festivals. She even wrote and performed a one-woman show that took her to the finals of a play competition. I need to hear about this later. But when COVID hit and she was laid off from her job, dang, she took another chance at school and enrolled in Columbia University's film producing MFA program, where she has received awards and recognition for her commitment to the craft, including one from Real Sisters. You didn't put that in here, but I'm going to just shout you out. Yeah, one time. Okay. Morgan produces, writes, and advocates for comedic and musical stories about and for women who are underrepresented in the mainstream media. All right, y'all ready to hear what Morgan's script is about? This lady that's been all over the place. All right, Morgan Alicia Smith, excuse me. Never again will I. All right, this is Feasters. Yep, y'all doing great. A Midwestern teen's life is upended when her family moves to Texas and she finds out she's part of an ancient line of monsters who feast on fear for the good of humankind. I'm also stalling so Nick can get these out the way. All right, I'm going to read this slow. But when the girl starts feasting out of vengeance against her new bullies, she has to choose between following the benevolent path of her foremothers or giving into her taste for revenge in this hero-based supernatural horror dramedy. That's a lot, right? This is coming from a genius, must be. All right, so let's see. We're talking hashtag, did you give me some? You did? Fantasy, hashtag horror, hashtag girl magic. Okay, I'm going to introduce the cast for us all, for feasters. Get ready to feast on some good stuff. I just came up with that. I feel like it was good in my head, but I don't know. Okay. All right, we have for the cast Andrea Grossi Benitez. Step right up. Daeun Yoon. Wave to the crowd. Jadonna Dufant. And Sudeep Ulak. Ulak. Yeah, okay. I was close. I'm sorry. Anyone? Okay, you ready? Here we go. We're going to do the three. We're going to do the three. Y'all already know what this is. We're going to do the three. We're going to take it to the 6. We're going to go to the 7. Somebody just stepped in here. Doja Cat. It was Doja Cat before. Maybe it's Beyonce for some of you. All right, she's here. Oh, my God. Give it up. Feasters. Thank you.
Excellent.
Just a little taller for him. Thank you.
Thank you, Jermaine. Writer and helper. Clap it up for Jermaine.
It's not staying.
It was the lefty Lucy. It's fine.
Thank you. Interior, minivan, night. An unassuming man with wide-rimmed glasses is at the wheel of a family-style minivan. The windows are deeply tinted. He looks in his rearview mirror, adjusts his glasses with a smile, and turns on the radio. His mood elevates when a familiar tune hits his ear. He hums with the upbeat melody, then starts to sing along to the lyrics about lovemaking. A dissonant groan joins the chorus. Exterior, rest stop, continuous. The man pulls his van into an empty-ish parking lot. Several spots down from him sits an equally unassuming hatchback. Interior, minivan, continuous. The man kills the engine. He turns to look behind him. There are no chairs in the back seat, only a woman whose hands are shackled to the metal posts on the floor.
Now, do I need to handcuff your feet to the floorboards too?
The woman's blistered ankles shine in the light of a nearby street lamp. Metal hits metal as she shakes her head. No.
That's my girl. I'll be right back.
The man exits the van. The woman shakes again. This time, it's with an audible sob. Exterior, rest stop, continuous. The man whistles a tune as he walks towards the bathroom. A sign on the lawn reads, Rest stop, Wichita County, Kansas. Interior, rest stop, men's room, continuous. A hissing sound accompanies that of pee hitting porcelain. The man looks around for the source of the sound, then shakes his head when he sees steam coming from a small vent in the corner. He zips his pants up and walks out of the restroom without washing his hands.
Exterior, rest stop, moments later. The man walks back up to his van and sees himself in the heavily tinted driver's side window. His heart stops when he notices 2 extra sets of eyes in the reflection. The pair over his left shoulder looks like they're decaying. The one on his right looks like they belong to a king cobra. He gasps, drops his keys, and attempts a quick exit. The man runs toward the hatchback, looking for an ally. But suddenly his feet disappear from beneath him and he crashes into the ground. A snake-headed person stalks toward him. The man's chest heaves as it stops a few steps away from him. A pair of zombie hands lunge toward the man. but the snake person holds them back. Still, the hands try to claw their way around the snake, clamoring to close the distance. The man pushes himself back, but his efforts are pointless. Out of nowhere, the two creatures jump straight into the air and land on top of his chest, pinning him to the ground. He looks back and forth between the two pairs of eyes. A blood-curdling scream escapes his lips, but is quickly replaced with the sound of him gasping for his next breath. Cut to black.
Exterior. Rest stop later. Blue and red lights stain the rest stop. A pair of first responders approach the scene. The unassuming man is passed out and hogtied next to the rest stop road sign. The doors of his minivans are wide open. The young woman lies unbound in a fetal position. One medic quickens the pace and reaches the woman. The second runs back to the ambulance. The EMT approaches the woman with extreme caution.
Ma'am, are you okay? What happened?
She whimpers and cowers as she crawls into a tighter ball. The second first responder reaches the minivan with a thermal blanket and medical kit in hand.
It's okay. We're here to help.
You're safe now. Please, just can you tell us what happened?
The woman shakes her head, but gives her consent and finally sits up.
I don't know. I heard screaming, then nothing. Someone opened the doors. I thought it was him, but then my handcuffs were just gone.
The red and blue lights paints the woman's face as tears stream down her cheeks. The responders exchange a heavy glance.
They told me to stay until help came. I didn't know what to do. They told me to stay, so I did. They told me to stay. They told me to stay.
Fade to black.
Title: Feasters. Clowning for Revenge. Exterior: Texas Highway, day. Traffic moves freely down an uncongested 10-lane highway. Pickup trucks dominate the road at speeds rivaling NASCAR. Mixed in with a sea of tailgates are cars, long-haul 18-wheelers, motorcycles, and minivans. A 2003 PT Cruiser hatchback wagon flies down the highway. A mouse among elephants. Exterior: Texas Highway, same. An armadillo sits on the roadside watching vehicles fly by. Interior: Mercy's PT Cruiser, same. Swampy foliage races past the car windows. Skies above seem an odd grayish blue. It's unclear if the day is meant to be a nice one or a cloudy one. The plants feel unnaturally green to Teddy Hughes' 15's spectacled eyes. Her hair and clothes are disheveled, exhaustion from the car ride. She clutches her spider plushy stuffed animal pillow, Charlie. Snug headphones cover one of her ears. She shares the backseat with an open box. A framed law degree sits on top. It's been awarded to her mom, Mercy Hughes, 42. She drives her daughters and other valuables with a well-manicured coif and crisp clothes. Frankie Hughes, 20, is Teddy's polar opposite in the passenger seat. She gushes about making the cheer squad. Teddy squirms and clutches her spider closer. Frankie picks up her phone and falls silent for a moment. A radio news programmer fills a lapse in conversation.
Wichita County authorities are looking for a possible Good Samaritan.
Mercy switches off the radio, then peers at Teddy in her rearview mirror.
You okay back there, Teddy Bear?
Teddy's head bobs with a tiny nod, not saying anything more.
Grammy's got your uniform pressed and ready for Monday.
Teddy meets Mercy's eyes in the mirror and offers a half-hearted smile. She stares back out the window.
She also said she's got a fresh pot of gumbo waiting for us, okay?
Teddy gives a genuine smile and nod of approval at Mercy's last statement.
Okay. Exterior, Texas Road, day. A "Welcome to Beaumont, Texas" sign greets them as they officially cross the city borderline. Exterior, Beaumont neighborhood. Same. The wagon makes its way down a neighborhood street where all the houses are in stilts. The wagons roll on. Exterior, Grammy's neighborhood. Same. The wagon drives down a winding street with vines growing on light poles. These houses are a bit larger than the previous neighborhood. They all sit on typical foundations. Exterior, Grammy's house. Evening. Grammy, 67, descends from the porch to greet her girls. Teddy jumps out of the cruiser and runs into Grammy's arms, burying her face in her grandmother's shoulder. A loud sniffle gives Teddy away. Tears flow. Grammy holds Teddy and rocks her slowly. Exterior, Grammy's house. Later. Cicadas and grasshoppers lead the summer soundtrack. Mercy's empty hatchback sits in the driveway next to Grammy's shiny SUV.
Interior, Grammy's house, front living room, continuous. Teddy sits upright on a well-loved couch. She's knocked out. Mercy walks in and picks up Teddy's empty gumbo ball. Grammy and Frankie follow soon after. Frankie's full of energy, but she tempers herself when she sees Teddy.
Saki Susan's finally asleep? Be nice. She's just scared.
Frankie rolls her eyes and pushes Teddy to lie down, more gingerly than expected, and covers her with a blanket.
I get it, but if she gets stuck in her fears, she'll never... Wait, where's Charlie?
A panic breath catches in Mercy's chest. They all search frantically for a moment. Then Mercy spots the spider plushie pillow. It's sitting behind a pile of books next to Frankie.
There she is.
Frankie follows her mom's gaze and grabs the stuffed animal, then looks up and crosses herself dramatically.
Isn't she a little over this?
We all blossom in our own time, Mama. She'll let it go when she's ready.
Wait, are y'all telling me she hasn't had her first?
No, not yet.
Maybe that's the reason for the attitude.
Well, Mom always says we're not allowed to blame crabby behavior on our special time.
That's right. In this family, it's just part of being a woman.
Frankie and Grammy shudder at the uncomfortable lady talk.
Oh, grow up. Did you eat yet?
Not yet. Wanted to set up her bed.
Not much point. Little girl's already asleep.
Go eat, or we're on store for trouble tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. What about you?
I'm fine. Y'all's anxiety is working wonders on my appetite.
Mercy pushes Frankie out of the room with a wink, then turns to watch Teddy. Grammy squeezes Mercy's shoulders. Mercy's smile wavers, but she relaxes in her mom's arms.
Mercy, stop worrying, baby. She'll make friends here among her own kind. Just give it time.
Teddy's brows are furrowed as she snuggles Charlie with love, dissolved too.
Exterior, strip club, night. A drunkard stumbles out of an adult establishment towards the only car left in the parking lot. He tries to stand upright as he trips over his feet. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a set of keys that immediately fall to the ground. He bends down to pick them up, but they slip through his grasp and jangle to the ground again and again. A strong gust of wind howls in the man's ear. It knocks him off his feet. He takes in a stride, chuckling as he pushes himself to sit upright next to the keys. They're easier to hold this time. Another groaning wind sends the keys back to the ground. The man stares at them in confusion. then looks up. He's suddenly pinned to the ground. A weight on his chest forces all the air out of his lungs. A pair of decomposing hands grab his face. He can't help but stare soberly into a matching pair of decomposing eyes. The man gasps for air as the decaying hands tighten their grip on his face. His hands move to his neck, trying to put space between an invisible collar and his neck. Scenes of the man sitting behind the wheel, crashing into a tree, then a building, then another car play in his eyes. Tears form, then stream down his face as he continues to fight for his next breath. The scenes play faster, over and over, as blood fills his eyes. He starts to give up on the fight. Then, just as quickly as they appeared, the rotting hands release the man's face and vanish. He coughs and swallows air for the first time since the hands appeared. Cut to
Interior, Teddy's bedroom, morning. Teddy gasps and her eyes fly open moments before her alarm sounds. Alternative rock music blares into the amber-colored girl's room. Charlie is tucked safely in her arms. She hits the snooze button, then looks over at the uniform laid out on the chair in the corner and pretends to vomit. She rolls over and buries her head under the covers. Frankie bursts in the room. Her eyes strangely look like a less rotten version of a pair we've seen before.
How are you still in bed? I heard your alarm go off like 15 minutes ago.
Teddy tightens her grip on Charlie and her bedding.
Go away, Frankie.
If you keep dragging ass, I'm leaving you here. Mom said I could.
Frankie storms out of Teddy's room and slams the door. Teddy turns down her sheets and glowers at the ceiling. Her jaw clenches shut and her eyes turn bright reddish amber. She throws the sheets off of her. She stomps toward the uniform, but stops when she feels one of Charlie's legs underfoot. Her eye color reverts to its normal shade of brown. She picks Charlie up and tucks her into the sheets with care.
Hurry up, Teddy!
I'm coming, Frankie! Golly.
Exterior, St. Ignatius Preparatory School, morning. A school bell sounds. Stragglers rush up the steps and through the front doors. Interior, school hallway, same. A flock of uniformed teens flood the hall. Questions about the summer swirl around Teddy's head. She doesn't take in any faces except an unfriendly girl with army boots and dark eye makeup sitting on the floor. Teddy grimaces as she sees people kicking the girl's legs as they walk past her. It looks purposeful. Teddy makes eye contact and gives the girl a half smile. It's not reciprocated.
Interior, English classroom, continuous. A portly man, Mr. Boudreaux, 45, stands in the middle of the class. The desks have been arranged in a semicircle. A few students sit on a grimy couch near the window.
This semester, y'all get ready, sophomores. We are diving into the classics, new and old.
A chorus of teenagers groan in unison. Teddy sits in the corner, grateful to go unnoticed.
See, y'all are whining now, but just wait until you meet a nice doctor named Henry Jekyll, who carries a terrible secret, his passion for other people's pain.
On Teddy's right sit a few muscular students, athletes. The tallest girl wears 2 French braided pigtails, Julia Arsenault, 17. She raises her hand but doesn't wait to be called on.
So what? I'd love to see Bethy in pain. Why isn't anyone writing a book about me?
Across the semicircle, a group of girls with flawless makeup roll their eyes in unison. The girl in the middle, Bethy James, 17, sends a disgusted sneer across the room.
That's because the girls in your basement haven't escaped yet, Julia. Don't worry, they'll write tell-alls about you soon enough.
Teddy is motionless. Only her eyes volley with the jabs.
Says the girl who's had to trick half the football team into a relationship. You know, they don't actually like you, right?
At least my parents do.
Julia shoots air through her nose. Her hands ball into fists. Teddy chortles softly as Bethy's parry. Bethy looks her way, making eye contact, sending the new girl an approving smirk. Julia's chair scrapes the floor as she pushes away from her desk. But before she can rise to her feet...
Girls, enough! Y'all talking awful lot for people who are supposed to be in here reading.
The class falls silent. Julia and Bethy resort to a staring contest. Teddy's eyes continue to ping-pong between them. Out of nowhere, the whites of Julia's eyes turn black. Bethy lets out a small gasp, then a few coughs. She scratches her neck as if there's something constricting her breathing. Teddy blinks hard, not believing her own eyes. She looks back at Bethy as she takes a deep breath, then crosses arms, almost cowering her in her chair. Teddy's gaze shifts back to Julia, whose eyes are normal again, though she looks almost gleeful.
Sure. Yeah, y'all do it. Y'all deserve that. Clap it up for this cast. They was giving acting on here. Okay. Clap it. I want to hear a 7 for these people. 7, 8, 9. Okay. Wonderful. That was a whole lot. Wow. Morgan Alicia Smith. Oh, is she on? Clap it up for Morgan, Alicia Smith, while they figure out these mics.
Oh, hi.
Thank you.
Hey. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Those, just in keep in mind, those are the first 10 and a half pages. There's more to come. Yeah.
Okay, man. Well, that's a perfect story for right after Halloween.
Right?
You know?
That's so worked out.
Scary. Okay, so we have questions in the audience, right? Because that was a lot. A lot just took place. So I know there's things. And while I walk all the way down there,
sure.
Morgan, maybe you tell us, where this story came from. What inspired this?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to share. So I really enjoy mythology. I really enjoy fantasy type stuff. And it's something that I noticed that is sadly usually lacking in diversity. Whenever I see it. So, I mean, like, it was even, like, I tried to do a lookbook to see what this might look like, and it's hard to even find pictures of black women or women of color of any kind as a zombie or as a vampire. It just doesn't exist. So, like, I wrote this in part because I love that genre, but I wanted to see more people with a chance to play around and have fun and be scary or have the fantasy, have the magic happen to them. So that was in part what that was. But on a practical level, too, it was a little bit of a story about it's this fish out of water. I've been both the fish in the water, having gone to a school with the same people for like 15 years, but then also been the new kid, and then like what it is to be the new kid and just trying to get along with everybody else, and maybe you don't fit in, or maybe you say yes when you really mean no because you're just trying to fit in, and what does that look like, and what happens when people start exploiting your desire to fit in, and when your consent starts getting bypassed, because consent matters.
Wow. Okay. And then you're an ancient monster. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And then also there are ancient monsters, mythology. They feast on people's fears. They're trying to make the world better. It's fine. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the question from the audience is...
Please.
Well, first of all, she stole my question, so thanks a lot. I have another one. Don't worry. I have it stocked up. So appreciate it. So what part of... You actually answered a good portion of my question when you talked about what makes you feel comfortable when you're writing, but... Further, and kind of adding to that, what makes you feel comfortable about the locations that you chose? It seemed to be where your history in your bio was, or just was listening. But in that, are you comfortable writing about other locations? And then why or why not?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you might have noticed from my bio, I've had the opportunity to live in a few different places. I've been able to... I have sitting in my brain, like, there are beaches sometimes, and sometimes there are tundras of America. The Midwest is a cold place. So But I am originally from Texas. My family is from Southeast Texas and Louisiana, like 6, 7 generations back. Like, that's all we know. That is who we are. And much in the same way that there isn't a whole lot of representation for people of color in the fantasy space, there's also very much not a big representation for people, no offense, outside of New York or outside of LA. We get called flyover country a lot. We get dismissed, much in the same way that other people, I mean, like, everybody has it. It happens to everybody, and it's not okay when it happens to you either. So that is the reason that I set this in around, like, in the same area of my parents' hometown. Where they're just some bayou folks that, maybe they're a little country, but they also extract oil from the ground. They're not dumb. And or anywhere else where people are perhaps discounted. So it's what is it to be from this community that on the outside looks, a little country, a little different, but then also to have your own traditions and have that be respected and acknowledged.
Wonderful. Thank you, Morgan. Alicia Smith. All right. Any other questions? Oh, right here. I'm ready. Thank you. Convenient. There you go.
I'm curious to hear if there's a backstory that you'd feel comfortable talking about. For example, how far back? Centuries, thousands of years, millennia, and beyond to the stars.
Ooh.
How did they evolve and how did they get to be where
Sure.
they are today?
Well, I can't tell you the whole evolution story because I'm still writing it. So the synthesis, part of the synthesis of it was, or the genesis, whatever, they mean the same thing. But the idea that we as humans are creatures of fear. We are governed by one of two things when it comes to decision making typically. One is love, the other is fear. And how does that fear, because we all think that fear is a bad thing, and sometimes it is, and like that's the thing that allows bigotry to perpetuate, unfortunately. But fear also stops you from jumping off a building just to see what would happen. Fear is not always a bad thing. So that's why my people, they are feasters of fear. They feed on people's fears, but they do so in a way, they have a goal of being these, scary monsters for good. And how do I look? So now we're going to stop somebody from driving drunk. Now we're going to stop somebody from trafficking a person and those sorts of things. And how can we use that fear to make the world a little bit of a better place? So it's this idea that, and that's why, yes, my creatures are very, very old because fear is very, very old. But yeah, it's the idea that if you can use even your darkest sides to maybe still make the world a little bit better, illuminate something, then it's worth it and it has value.
That's beautiful. How do I apply to become one of these things? Okay, yes, we have another question. Sure. I want my darkness to turn
You know what? I have an application process. You're
okay,
not yet.
Thanks,
You
okay.
will, yep.
Last question from the audience.
I just want to know because, there's so many zombie stories like The Walking Dead that people are familiar with. How are you going to make this story very unique, even visually? And we saw in this scene that they had some special powers.
Sure.
So I want to know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is not a zombie story. So it's just that one of the characters, her feaster manifestation is that of a zombie. I shouldn't have told you that. Ooh. But somebody else maybe is a snake demon. Maybe. Or somebody else maybe it turns into a killer-looking clown. So the whole idea being that every person is different, and every person's gifts manifest themselves in whatever way, and then that's what turns them into their form, and that's how they eat.
Wow. Don't talk like that. It's scary.
Is it?
Okay.
Welcome.
Wow. Twisted genius. Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you.
Alicia
Thank y'all.
Smith. One more time. 9 for Morgan. Alicia Smith. Put that mic back up there and sit yourself down. Thank you. All right, Nick. Thank you. Awesome. Terrific. I'm with the person in the back. Where were you when you came up with that? That's for another time. How many of you would like to see the rest of that? The rest of that story you want to see? Okay. All right. That sounds good. All right. Are you ready for another story? Another script. All right. So here we go. Our next writer Before we go on to the next one, are y'all having a good time? Is this entertaining? Are you glad you came outside today? Okay, wonderful. All right, so our next writer is Vivienne Shaw. Vivienne Shaw is a screenwriter and director based in Brooklyn, New York, who enjoys writing in every genre about women in conflict. She is a recent graduate of the Columbia University Film MFA program, where she received the Alfred P. Sloan Screenplay Award for her psychological thriller feature script, Killing Jar. Killing Jar. That sounds really interesting, actually. She is also a 2023 Real Sisters Micro Budget Fellow for her comedic short film, 30-Hour Famine, currently in post-production. Clap it up for that. In addition to Vivienne's own projects, she has worked in development at multiple production companies, including Viacom CBS, Cinetic Media, and Game Changer Films, and has also served as a script reader for the former Sundance Asian American Fellowship. Outside of film, Vivienne also works in video art and projection design for theater, pursuing her continued interest in interactive storytelling. She received her BA from somebody told me how to say this. Vivienne, how you say this? Wellesley. That's so easy. And okay, it's because I have a mic and lights. Okay, Wellesley College in computer science and cinema and media studies. All right. So the way this story goes, this is Higher Power. Jenny is a fervently religious teenage girl with a desperate desire to make friends in her socially exclusive church youth group. When Pastor Tim Lee arrives as a potential youth pastor candidate, the girls in the group are enthralled by his charismatic demeanor, but Jenny is convinced by her crush Paul to vote against confirming him as the new youth pastor. Meanwhile, Jenny's cousin Mina, who is staying with Jenny's family for the summer, parties with her friends at a rave. Mina bemoans being the group's unofficial caretaker and tries unsuccessfully to find Angel Feathers, an unforgettable mystery man she previously had sex with. Say what? I didn't see that coming. Afterwards, a begrudging Mina picks up Jenny from church, and the two fight incessantly, their contrasting personalities masking a shared search for community and spirituality. Y'all ready to see this? All right, give me a 3. All right, wow. Give me a 5. Okay. I just wanted to hear it. Let me say the cast first. I'm in your way. I'll get out soon. I love this cast, by the way. They're the nicest. No disrespect to the other ones. Oh, man. Makali's cast was also very accommodating and lovely. I loved you all. And Morgan's cast, just the theatrics. I'm still stunned by your... I was like, is this a play or what's going on? All right. We have Vincent Lee. That's you. Okay, very good. Say hi to the... Okay. Clap for Vincent. All right, we have Josephine Cheng. Yeah?
Very good.
Yes. Piggy Cheng. And Yena.
It's Yenna.
Yenna, my bad. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to do it over again. Excuse me, just for my own, Vincent Lee. Josephine Cheng. Piggy Chen. And Yenna. Yeah. Can I get a 6? An 8. Higher power, everybody.
Exterior, street corner, day. On a modestly busy street of a suburban downtown area, Jenny, 16, Taiwanese American, unusually intense for a teenager, sings badly while Cha-Cha, 16, Taiwanese American, mousy and quiet, strums a guitar. Over the soft music, Jenny clears her throat.
Hey everyone, it's a beautiful night. I'm gonna sing now.
Everyone passing by ignores her. A nearby strange lady feeding pigeons smiles at Jenny.
No requests. Sorry, this song is about my best friend.
Cha-Cha glances at her.
And his name is Jesus Christ. Here we go.
She takes a deep breath and starts wailing. An elderly Asian man walking his dog stops by and tries to hand Jenny a $5 bill.
Oh no, we're doing this for you.
The man tries more aggressively. It doesn't appear that he speaks English.
This is to inspire you. Are you inspired? Do you know Jesus?
The man's dog starts barking at the pigeons nearby. Jenny tries again in awful Mandarin. It's all very chaotic.
Jesus.
Jenny, you can't just assume people speak Chinese.
No, I just got the tones wrong.
She starts babbling in different tones. The barking is getting louder. Jenny tries to yell over it.
Jesu!
Nani?
Woof, woof! The man's dog gets free of its leash and runs at the pigeons, who scatter towards Jenny and Cha-Cha. Jenny screams and hides for cover, while the strange lady runs and spills more birdseed around both of them, causing even more pigeons to flood the area. Cut to interior Chinese Bible church. Meeting room, night. Denise, 17, the most judgmental teenager ever, watches the chaotic busking incident unfold on a viral video on her phone.
And I'm really excited to welcome Jenny and Cha-Cha to the leadership team. Welcome.
Denise peers over the top of the phone screen to look at Jenny and Cha-Cha, who sit awkwardly in front of the small group of predominantly Chinese and Taiwanese American teenagers. Paul, 18, handsome in a boring way, smiles at the two of them politely. Jenny returns the smile a little too enthusiastically. Welcome. You know, it's funny, I don't remember being there for the vote.
We actually don't exclude anyone that feels moved enough to join.
Moved is one thing, singing ability is another. Kelly, 17, head to toe in athleisure, stifles a laugh. Beside her, Evan, 18, a deadpan gamer, barely looks up from his Nintendo Switch.
We don't just sing. That's a common misconception.
And no one is coming for your 2-octave riff in Cornerstone. That's why the whole congregation gets quiet, because no one can sing it.
May I say something?
Everyone stares as Jenny stands, smiling, filled with the thrill of being a part of something. Reading the room is not her strong suit. Cha-Cha hands her a stack of note cards.
I've always been inspired by this group, not just by your commitment to serving the youth group, but also by the bond you all have with each other. Jesus once said that...
A soft knock on the door interrupts her, and Pastor Tim, 28, Asian American, enters the room hesitantly.
Sorry, am I interrupting?
No, not at all. Everyone, this is Pastor Tim, the new youth pastor candidate. He'll be speaking tonight. Pastor Tim looks around the room thoughtfully.
What a lovely group. Yes, I just want to stop in and say hello before we begin.
There's something a bit strangely ethereal about him. Perhaps a combination of his slow cadence of speech, intense eye contact, and precisely trimmed facial hair. But undeniably attractive.
I know choosing a spiritual leader is a huge decision. So in addition to tonight's meeting, I'm happy to meet with each of you individually to address any concerns or questions. I'm an open book.
Jenny nods enthusiastically. Denise and Kelly are mesmerized. Paul, noticing and annoyed, clears his throat.
Thank you. We look forward to it.
Pastor Tim smiles at them and exits the room. A silence. I mean, personally, I think that...
Fuck!
Evan slams his Nintendo Switch on the table and storms out of the room. The whole room watches him go. I think he's really great. Interior, Chinese Bible Church. Sanctuary, night. The church sanctuary is filling with teenagers. Jenny and Cha-Cha join their ranks in the pews as Denise, Evan, and Paul take up their places in the band on stage. Jenny watches as they joke around and laugh with each other.
I think they really liked us.
Maybe.
You don't think so? I feel like we did everything right.
Paul smiles and waves in her direction, and Jenny waves back, not noticing a girl behind her also waving back.
Yeah, we did everything right.
The music starts energetically. Swept up in it, Jenny and other teenagers put their hands in the air and sing along, struggling to match the absurdly high key. Match cut to interior, warehouse, rave, night. Hands pumped to EDM music in a dark room filled with neon lights and sweaty bodies. Among the ravers, Mina, 22, Taiwanese American, dressed in something very tight and neon, jumps up and down to the music.
Woo!
Brian, 24, Korean American, shirtless and covered in glitter, leans on her. Mina struggles under the weight.
My existence is meaningful!
Mina nods along encouragingly and, not losing a step, shoves the tube of her hydration pack into his mouth while he takes a long gulp. The beat drops and the crowd erupts. Mina reaches into her pocket and takes out a small plastic bag with colorful pills inside. But before she can put one in her mouth, Amber, 23, Vietnamese American, with bangs so long it's a wonder she can see, grabs Mina's arm. Yo, Ning is losing it in the bathroom.
What? She was fine 2 minutes ago.
She took a couple of shots.
Oh my God. No one read my substance abuse guidelines?
Amber shrugs and starts leading her away, but not before Mina grabs her arm urgently.
Wait, Amber, did you find him?
Who? Mina flaps her arms like wings. Amber shrugs. There's like 1,000 people here, Mina. Interior bathroom, night. Ning, 25, Taiwanese, throws up into a toilet as Mina holds her hair. Amber checks her makeup in the mirror.
Am I being super embarrassing right now?
Mina flicks some vomit off her arm.
No, babe. It's the music, isn't it? What was playing last time he was here? That trance shit?
That's cute. Look, I don't know what it's like in LA, but we don't have a lot of options. Everyone in the city who likes EDM is here right now. But if you're looking for dick, there's plenty out there.
This is very specific, Dick.
An overexcited first-time raver runs up to Mina.
I love your candy. Can we trade?
Yeah, of course.
Mina absent-mindedly performs the plur hand movement, peace, love, unity, respect, a rave thing, with one hand as Ning violently vomits again.
It was like freedom, Dick. Like, I'll take care of you in a sensitive but responsible, unjudgmental, I don't care what kind of lies you've told your family, Dick, but also spontaneous. Like, I might ruin your life, but in an ultimately beneficial way, kind of, Dick. Do you know what I mean?
The first-time raver hugs Mina and leaves. Mina looks at the bracelet she's received. It says Molly with little hearts. It's definitely not referring to her name. No, because I don't think sex is that deep. Could I get another hit? Mina sighs. Suddenly her phone vibrates and she looks at it.
Oh, fuck my life.
She gets up suddenly, causing Ning to flop over the toilet. Exterior, Chinese Bible church. Night. Outside the church, the parking lot is emptying. Nina stands outside awkwardly, by herself as others seem to leave in groups. She waves at Cha-Cha in the car with her mother as they drive away. There's almost no one around now. Jenny pulls out her phone very aggressively.
Hey.
Jenny turns and becomes flustered immediately upon seeing him. She slides the phone back into her pocket.
Hey.
You got a ride?
He takes out a pair of keys and locks the church doors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, unless...
Cool. So, Pastor Tim.
An awkward silence.
Is that a question?
What are your thoughts?
Oh, well, I really like the sermon and the passage from James about faith without works. You know, that's why I'm so proactive about spreading the gospel myself. And actually, I was inspired by your...
I think he's kind of a creep.
Oh.
Yeah, like the whole loving each other thing. I don't know, it's just kind of...
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Do you know how you're going to vote yet?
Interior, Mina's car, night. Mina, now in oversized sweats, speeds down the road while simultaneously throwing her rave outfit into her backpack and stuffing drugs into the glove box with her foot. Exterior, Chinese Bible church, night. Paul looks at Jenny expectantly. He's so attractive.
You don't want to vote for him?
I just don't think we need that kind of energy here. And I could use a few more people to back me up, you know? I really appreciate that. You got me, right?
The way he's smiling at her, Jenny would probably commit a crime if Paul told her he'd appreciate it. Beep! A car speeds into the parking lot dramatically. Mina rolls down the window and waves at them. Jenny gapes.
Is that your mom?
Jenny laughs nervously.
Oh no, I don't know who that is. Sorry, the county jail's down the road. Keep going.
Hi, I'm Mina, Jenny's cousin.
Jenny bites her lip, then without another word, jogs sprints around the car and jumps in.
I'm Paul.
Nice to meet you.
Go.
Will you be interested in joining us at youth group?
Oh, I don't know about that, but I respect it. Go, Jesus. Ow.
Jenny, in the passenger seat, hits Mina in the shoulder. Mina smiles at Paul politely before driving off. Interior, Mina's car, continuous. Jenny looks at Mina with disdain.
I told you to park down the street.
Yeah, which was like ridiculous. Do you not want me to be seen by your friends or something?
Jenny is momentarily pleased by the word friends. Then,
You have glitter on your face.
What, Jesus doesn't like a little sparkle sparkle?
Jenny doesn't find that funny. Mina wipes it off.
Relax, I was at a party.
Mina parks the car.
I don't want to today.
Too bad. Your mom says you have to practice.
Jenny groans, but eventually gets out of the car, and the two of them switch seats. Jenny sits at the wheel shakily. Interior, Mina's car, later. Mina, with her head in her hands, watches as Jenny misses another opportunity to turn right.
Jenny, you can turn on red.
Then why is it red?
It doesn't apply to us.
What do you mean? Red means stop. Stop trying to bend the rules.
I'm not bending the rules. I'm telling you it's a legal option.
I'm following the rules, okay? Do you think other people on the road will like me if I don't follow the rules?
I think the people behind you want to go home, Jenny.
I think they probably appreciate my commitment to safety.
Oh my God.
Don't say that.
Another car passes, and Mina grabs Jenny's steering wheel to try to turn.
What are you doing?
Just turn.
It's against the rules.
have
You
work
should be
tomorrow,
arrested.
Jenny.
You're a
How long
danger
are we
to
gonna
yourself
sit here?
and others.
Exterior, Jenny's house, night. The car comes to an excruciatingly slow stop in front of a modest 2-story house. Both girls get out of the car aggressively. Scene.
All right, clap it up one more time for higher power. Excellent. Come on, Vivienne. Come on. We're waiting on you. Clap it up for Vivienne, please. Okay, Vivienne, you want to start us off? Anything you'd like to tell us about this creation of yours?
Yeah, so basically the story is exploring two different Asian American subcultures, church Asians and rave Asians, which are kind of like big things. You can guess which group I was a part of. But it's really about how these two groups are aesthetically very different, but searching for the same thing: belonging, identity, a sense of spirituality. So these two characters, there's sort of an irony in how different the things they do are, but that they want the same thing in the end.
Wonderful. Wow, and so concise. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Questions from the audience? Okay. Yes. All right. This is my favorite questioner in the back. Hold on. You said what? Oh, okay. You did. Here you go. What's your question?
So I know we're all here, right? Script writing, screenwriting, filmmaking. So have you thought as far ahead as what this looks like on the screen? Have you thought short, feature? I'm seeing short. I'm seeing, you know?
Oh, this is a pilot, actually. So at the end of the pilot, we find out that the man that Mina has been looking for, that she slept with, is actually the new pastor.
This is why I asked the questions, guys. These are why I asked the big money questions.
So that kind of jumpstarts the conflict. and the worlds
Now
converging.
I
Yeah.
want to see this immediately. Okay. Questions? Any others? Okay, here we go.
This is just so amazing and awesome, and is just the vibe of like this kind of new wave of this like Gen Z, like two friends on a crazy adventure, right? But we're seeing like this femmes at the head of this, which I love. What are kind of other shows or film, anything that you kind of gain inspiration from for a piece like this? I think of like Pen 15.
Oh, I love
which is
Pen
so
15.
funny. Well, what shows like that inspire you?
Yeah. Pen 15, Broad City, Veep. I mean, recently Beef had really interesting Asian church scenes. I think that Asian church is kind of a gold mine of stories. It's really kind of bizarre and specific in its own way. And obviously, like, Chinese church is different than Korean church, and, you know, it has its own nuances. Yeah.
Okay, we have one over here coming right up. I'm gonna get to you. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Yeah, your dialogue is super, like, it's natural. It flows, good pacing. It feels real. Like, you did a really good job making these characters feel real. Their interactions are instantly relatable and engaging. In terms of the drama, did you have more of a limited series thing, or is this something that would kind of develop as these characters grow closer or advance in age? You know, like the characters go to college or whatever. Like, what was your vision for the longer span of the thing?
Well, thank you. I haven't gotten past like the first couple episodes, so I don't quite know. But I think there's a lot of story to be mined in their respective worlds and their conflict and growing closer together, the secrets that they keep from each other, the pastor, etc. I'm not sure long term, but yeah. But hopefully, like, the conflict can sustain for a while.
All right. Okay, we have one more. I think this is going to be our last. And if we have time at the end, we can also discuss as a whole thing. All right, here we go.
What was the biggest challenge that you encountered while writing the pilot, and how did you overcome it?
So my world growing up was a church, so I had to do a little research. You know, so that meant going to raves and stuff.
Wow, that's what we're calling it? Okay, gotcha. Nice.
Which is a little out of my comfort zone, but maybe not anymore. I don't know. Yeah, you gotta do research.
Oh, that's how you overcame it. That's beautiful. Yeah. All right, clap it up one more time. Let's give it a 9. Very good job, Vivienne. Thank you so much. Wonderful. I might need to do some research too now. I'm curious. All right. Okay, so I have some good news and I have some bad news. What kind of audience are y'all? Are y'all like the good news first, bad news first? All right, here we go. The bad news is we only have one more story to go. Dramatic tears. I know. It's breaking my heart. I knew I would find some way to bring this in tonight. Yes, breaking my heart. Okay, here we go. But I have good news too. Y'all ready for the good news? We have one more story to tell. Glory be. And let me tell you something. It's not no regular story. I chose the most extra of the writers to go last. And you will see why in a moment. But I want to say that J. Ketter Edie is his name. And if we had more time, I'll tell you with the run-up to this and me getting phone calls from Mr. Edie on all types of days. But I'll say that. But because he is who he is, he will have some special features. You'll see in a moment. Let me give you his bio first. Here we go. You'll see even by the way this bio is framed that this is somebody different. Here we go. I'm here to put people on a map that never seen a map. That's where you find the most soulful stories. Those are the stories I need to tell. These are the words of J. Ketter Eady, writer, director, producer. He wrote this. All right, this this self-styled contemporary griot, born and bred in New York City by way of Liberia, West Africa, is cementing his cinematic identity after his first critically acclaimed short film, The Cost of Milk. Now I gotta see this, by the way. I'm just saying, special feature. Self-taught and rebellious, yes, he is. Eady cites his influences as, tell me who this is. Ziga Vertov, Gordon Parks, and Hype Williams. I know those two. All right, J. Ketter Eady currently is completing his 3-season mellow comedy, Sancocho. And this is what we're about to see tonight, a little slice of this. Do you want me to tell them I'm going to take credit for this or no? Okay, so I was in the lab. I'm a part of the lab. And J. Ketter Eady is being J. Ketter Eady. He's at the table. He's trying to get a blurb for Sancocho. And he's racking his brain. And I give him some advice. And I tell him, if you're going to do a snippet, a synopsis, make it about what Sancocho is. And if you're from New York, you should know what Sancocho is. How many in the room know what it is? Okay. Well, you're about to find out. From the context clues, you'll find out, okay? But I just want to say that I take credit for this inspiration, and he did a phenomenal job, way better than I would ever. Okay, indulge in the flavorful journey of two charismatic Dominican 20-somethings on the cusp of something like adulthood in the heart of New York City as they whip up a tale of friendship, faith, community, and womanhood, all simmering to perfection in the rich broth of their lives in Washington Heights. Through the aromatic escapades of making their cherished sancocho soup, they stir up laughter, tears, and unforgettable moments. Join us for a delectable mellow-comedy that serves up a slice of culture, a pinch of tradition, and a whole lot of heart. Get ready to savor the flavors of life, love, and the pursuit of identity in this captivating series. That was good, right? Clap it up for J. Ketter Eady. Very good. Excellent. Hold on. You see now? You see what I'm saying? I told you about him. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to introduce the cast. We're going to clap. And then you can do your thing. Okay. So on stage we have Diana Poe. Clap it up for Diana Poe. We have Keith Alexander. Hey, Keith. We have Davis Daly. Welcome, Davis. We have Carolina, excuse me.
I'm going to do everything over again. That's okay.
Yeah. I was over there so many times. Okay, Carolina Miranda.
Thank you.
Ciata Thompson. Yes. All right, so we're going to clap it up. 3. Golf clap. Y'all tired of this? No. 6. 8, my people. Clap it up. Sancocho. He got music.
Exterior, NYC Street, 168th Street subway exit, early morning. Yuvelki Ramos, 24-year-old Dominican female, bounding up the subway stairs 2 at a time to the street. She takes one AirPod and puts it in the case. Drunken partygoers pass her. She passes a couple in PDA, homeless man. Walks past a mural. As she comes to the end of it, 2 men her age walk past her.
That's what I'm saying, bro. The Knicks is taking it. Damn, you see that sexy ass tomboy? Hey, yo, what's up?
Yuvelki continues on, undisturbed.
Your Riz is trash, buddy. Like this.
Man 2 lifts up shirt,
And the
motions
key,
towards
mommy.
Yuvelki.
God bless you. What's up? You
Grabs
heard?
at Yuvelki, who sidesteps his advance and quickens her pace.
Oh, nah. She fake stuck up. Nasty ass scar on her face.
Like she a baddie. Nah.
Voices trail off as men pass. Yuvelki cringes for a moment and puts her other AirPod into her ear hurriedly and continues walking. Cut to Interior, Harlem School of the Arts lobby, early morning. Yvelke enters with a rush. Security guard waves her through.
Good morning, Becky. First here as usual.
Yvelke enters space, only giving an absent nod to the guard. Interior, HSA dance studio. Yvelke enters rehearsal space, turns lights on, and throws her things down in a huff. Puts head down, takes a deep breath. She surveys the space and walks in a circle, taking it in. Smiles contentedly and stretches out fully. Yvelke stretches for a bit, then goes into a vigorous and skillful dance routine. As she works, her movement gets more intense, anger unleashing. Time progression. Yvelke starts and stops her rigorous dance as more of her troupe files in and joins her steps. As the rehearsal goes on, we see Yvelke go from dancer to choreographer, demonstrating steps, getting aggressive with her squad. She's not playing around. At the end of the dance, everyone exhausted, but Yvelke is iron. They file into the locker room, slapping a poster of a Cardi B concert taking place at a big venue that night. Match cut to. Exterior, big venue, night. The same poster on the wall outside the front doors of the venue. Interior, backstage. Yvelke is applying makeup to a scar underneath her eye, carefully and secretly. She looks in the mirror and checks and frowns at its application. She walks out into the hallway, backstage, at a concert. She walks into a group of performance-ready dancers.
Bow your head, sisters, to the mother. With every moment I make, I long to be close to you. May I leap with your joy. May I stretch with your passion. May I balance with your strength. I give you my dance as a prayer, as a praise, and as a testimony. May my dancing tell of your love and always point the way to you. Let us shake our asses in your glory. Vamos a trabajar, nenas.
Yeah.
Cut to interior main stage. Yvelke and her dance team in their performance outfits run through their routine like graceful machines in front of a sold-out stadium crowd cheering and rapping along to every word of a female rap superstar. Yvelke finally smiles as she takes the center stage. All eyes on her for her big solo finale. As she begins, she collapses to the ground, clutching her right knee in silent panic as the crowd continues to roar. The other dancers continue to dance as Yvelke claws her way off stage, curling in a heap and heaving sobs. Cut to interior HSA dance studio next day. Yvelke sits dead-eyed off to the side of the dance floor with her right leg elevated and wrapped, crutches on the ground. A room full of 8 to 10-year-old dancers practice ballet moves as Dr. Charles, 50s, African-American male, instructs from the front.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. And we are stopping. That's not sass in your ass, is it? It better find a window to jump out of if it is. Fatima? Yes, Fatima. Was that a Batma? Because it's giving Batman in point shoes.
Girls laugh. Dr. Charles whips wheelchair around.
And the laughter is why? For what? Because it doesn't look any better over here.
Notices Yvelke in the mirror.
Ladies, we have come to the end of today's class, but not the opportunity to be swans. Good evening, and please be kind while we are apart.
Dr. Charles.
She leans in to kiss him on cheek.
Well, you must have hurt your head, too, because you're wearing street shoes in my studio.
Yvelke awkwardly tries to navigate taking shoe off while on crutches.
I'll allow it.
I'm sorry, it's just, everything is coming apart. Every fucking thing.
Girl, my spine came apart. When I was a principal at Alvin Ailey, didn't I teach you that obstacles are just something to get over? Then get over it. So what, you give up now? Oh, you hurt? Oh, y'all, poor little Becky is hurt. So now she got to go back to Washington Heights to Miraland and do what? Lick her wounds? Or throw a pity party? How you say pity party in Spanish, mommy? Look, okay, baby. Yes, you're going through some shit right now, but you're going to learn this lesson for yourself. Suffer what you Suffer what there is to suffer, enjoy what there is to enjoy, but dance. Dance like you that bitch.
It's
Uvelki folds in tears. Dr. Charles softens at the sight.
Don't give up now, girl. You're so close.
I was so close. And I can't go back home.
Cut 2. Interior, Mercedes apartment, same day.
Yavasalo Latia.
Tracking shot on kid from behind begins the scene. Shots of the room flash by as B-roll, while child is walking. Plantains being fried, saints on altar, glass crucifixes on pictures of 2 men. Elaborately done fingernails, skillfully doing hair with curling iron. Mercedes, 24, Latina, sits at the center of group of women doing a teenager's hair. Painting of female rappers at the Last Supper, framed perfectly above her head.
Oh, Federico, let me get that.
Snatches joint.
The fuck?
Nah, he's mad capable though, right? Come here, my vida.
Yo, that shit is like vigorously irresponsible, ma. Yo, but anyway.
Takes a quick drag from joint.
Mamita, you gotta sit still, like, okay. No, nah, she told me all this shit, like, cause you know, that's my brother. And Iselini's my homegirl, like, but that shit? ¿Quién hace eso?
Apartment starts to get smoky.
Mercy!
I know that's not the Maduro. Fucking Heidi.
Mercedes gets up to the kitchen.
Heidi, you didn't even ask to make these shits.
Takes over cooking duties.
It's too much oil. Okay, the fire's too hot. Mira me, over here. You see? Like this.
The phone rings.
Oh, Jay, pass me my phone. Yo, come do this, please. And don't burn them, Heidi. Lenta, lenta.
Mercedes goes back into packed living room and sits. Intercut phone conversation.
Mercedes?
Who's this? You gotta keep your head like this. God, I'm almost finished.
It's me.
¿Uvelki? Ah, nena! Nena! Yo, ¿qué lo que, mami? Dímelo.
Yeah, it's me, Mercy. I'm, just like...
What's up, nena? You good?
Yeah, I'm,
You sound good, ma. Yeah, I've been praying for you. Because you already know shit with this crazy, man. You seen that shit with Isleni on the gram? I was just saying shit is OD, yo. But I had, like, already told her. You fucking his cousin, too. So. But, you know, this after she's scamming with his abuela's social, though? And
Mercy. I'm coming home.
Oh, you did ass? Ah, no, hold on. Let me put you on speaker. Ah, yo, Becky's coming home.
The ladies in the house get loud with excitement.
Mercy, please, keep it low.
Oh, my fault. Es un secreto. Okay, be quiet, damn. These bitches. So, when you coming home, huh? How long you gonna stay?
Look, right now, I'm not sure. Mercy, I gotta go. You do me a favor and...
Phone cuts off.
Becky? Oye, Becky.
Looks back at Maria suspiciously. Cut 2. Interior, Uvelski's apartment. Evening. Uvelki is sitting in her swank living room in a loft. Downtown Manhattan apartment, living room, with her injured leg up. Her 2 friends, Bridget, 20s, and Amy, 20s, are all eating chips and salsa, sipping wine.
Oh my God, you guys. Taste this. No, seriously. Bex, this is so good. What, is this like a sauce from your country?
So, it's a salsa. It's from Trader Joe's. Also, it's Mexican and I'm Dominican.
Definitely the ethnic section, right? Like, tastes so fresh.
Right, near the chips. Mommy, you can't miss it. In a jar, though, so there's that.
I love it when you do the mommy thing. So, what are the deets? How long before you heal and you're back up dancing?
Well, I tore my meniscus and my ACL. I don't know if I'll be able to make it back to the tour in time after I heal.
Tour. Oh boy, you didn't see it? I hate to be the bad news bird, but Cardi chose a new choreographer. It was all over the gram.
She what? I had just started. It was the first leg of a fucking world tour. We had a contract.
Yeah, hon, but your knee exploded.
And it's gonna be hell getting back. Like so much work. Like so much.
Amy, Becky isn't afraid of work. Okay? Little Miss Top of our class here.
She right though. what if I never?
What would you do? Like, there's gonna have to be physical therapy and.
Well, I was thinking, while I heal, Bridget, maybe I could get a job with your dad at his practice, or Amy with your mom at the gallery.
Yeah, I'll check on with her on that, but I'll see.
For my dad, it's a no. It's not you. No. It's not you. It's just that he moved chair at Columbia Presbyterian. I mean, it's just not a good time.
No, yeah. Oh, I totally get it.
Well, Becky, we got to get going. Thanks for the salsa. I'll have to pick up some.
Yeah, it's good seeing you.
Yeah,
Hey,
take care.
Don't worry. Maybe you can get some help from your parents. I'm sure they'll understand. Bye. Take care.
Uvelki is left alone and in visible pain.
Luca, Scots Guard, 30, white male, knocks soft light on the door.
May I enter?
Yes, Luca, come on in.
Are you dressed? Do I have your consent?
Mi loco, what do you need?
Okay, so Uvelki?
Why do you roll the L's? You have to roll the R's, not the L's, man.
I tried. Did I play myself? Because I was workshopping it before I said it, and it's...
Yeah, a little. But we're not doing it again, though.
Not again. So, Uvelki? No? Still? Okay. Becky, the rent is late, and I had to cover you. It's been a few times now, and I thought since you booked the Cardi B tour, Nope, noted. Not that either. So I know you're hurt, but we haven't even discussed the...
Yeah, I know. Look, I was hoping this tour would get me back on my feet and I could pay what I owe and then some. But if you can just give me a little bit more time, I just gotta figure some things out.
So that's the thing. New development. You know Jamal?
White Jamal?
That's reductive. He's more of an unpigmented, bleached, sort of. But yeah, Alabaster Jamal. His Star Wars hip-hop musical got picked up and he's moving in.
Okay, so at the end of the month, Tomorrow. Mi loco, tomorrow?
Oh, are we back there? Bex, I'm just...
It's too elky. I mean, where am I supposed to go?
Hey, Becky. This town moves fast. You're on crutches. I'm on Adderall. I mean, Jamal just got picked up for something that could totally be a thing, and dolphins are rapists. And you're moving tomorrow. New York Minute, kiddo. Leave the keys on the hook, okay?
Clap it up one more time. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Zach. All right. Jake Header Edie, welcome to the stage. How many of y'all came here to support Jake Header Edie? Oh, okay. All right. I knew they had to be in here somewhere. Okay. Jake Header Edie.
Hi, Sandrine.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. How you guys doing?
All right. Tell us what inspired this.
So I went to a party one night. I'm from Washington Heights, and I went to a party one night in the Heights. It was a 60th birthday party for a mother of three, and they played Cardi B's Bodak Yellow. We know that song. Everybody know that song. So they played the song the first time, and all these women with quinceañera dresses, like really nice ball gowns and all that stuff, they turned into the thuggiest, most gangster women I've ever seen in my life. That's the first time they played it. The second time he played it, he turned it up even more. People are coming in from the hallway. It's going nuts. So then there's this girl. She's about this tall, and she stands in the middle and kicks her shoes off. and she's doing the gun fingers in the camera. And I said, you know what, this is a moment. Then the third time they did it, because it happened 3 times, the woman whose 60th birthday party it was, she's twerking in the middle. This is happening, right? So I said, this is a moment, and like this is the moment, and I need to catch this. And then I'm looking on television, and I don't see anybody that looks or sounds like this. And I waited and waited and waited, and it didn't come. So I realized I have to grab the pen and I have to write it. Yeah.
Yes, clap it up. Thank you. You don't have that moment on video, do you?
I do not, Sandrine,
Okay,
but we
well,
can
I
recreate
kinda
it.
wanna see it.
We can put it in the show.
Absolutely. That's definitely a scene in the show. All right. So, questions from the audience. Any questions for Jay Keter-Ede? Sancocho. Y'all know what sancocho is now, right? Soup, right? Dominican. If you ever get your hair done in a Dominican hair salon, somebody comes around and sells sancocho. I mean, that's my teenage memories of being in New York. You know, my connection. All right. Any questions for Jay? I'm actually going to just park myself back here. You are my plant. I don't know you, but you're doing a great job. Thank you. What's your question?
So, visibly, we all look different, right? We all look like shades, and I look Spanish, right? I'm not, by the way. Hola, right? But I get it all the time. So I work in black filmmaking, and you perceivably look black.
I'm very black.
Got
I'm
it.
black.
Perfect. I just want to be respectful. I was just saying. So where do you I had to walk down that road slowly. Right? I had to get there, but we're here now. So where do you get your partnership with Dominican people / women / dancers / right?
Yeah, that was
Where
a
did you do
big
your
one.
research,
That was a big one.
right?
So thank you. I am from 151st and Broadway. Which
Blip,
my mother
blip, blip.
claims,
Sorry.
yeah, bim, bim, bim. So my
just-
mother claims that that's Harlem, but it's actually the Heights, depending on where you get off the train. I've been to every party, every school. These are my friends. Like, so I know Uvelke, I know Mercedes, I know these characters. I know what store they go to. I know what they eat on a Sunday. I know Luz Clarita. Like, I'm there. I'm here. We're all here, right? And I think that's a part of Washington Heights in itself. You have a few different cultures, right? But like I know for a specific example, when we have the block party on my block, when we used to have it when we were allowed to before gentrification, we used to have a block party, and all the black families would be down the hill and all the Hispanic families would be up the hill, right? And so this is Riverside Drive, Broadway leading down to Riverside Drive. Around 7 o'clock, when the Brugal on this side and the Hennessy on this side started going and everybody gets together, we're in the middle of the street now. There's nothing happening. They moved the police barriers, but we're still here. And this is the neighborhood intermingling, so that's where I get off to write it. The hardest part was writing from a female perspective. The first thing I did was say, okay, you know what, hold on. Could go really bad. Right, so then I looked at male writers and poor examples. The first thing I looked up was poor examples of males writing females, and it was really bad. It was terrible. So you get things like her heaving breasts as she ran. Like, what? Whose breasts heave? Like, what is that? Okay, but so I started there, and then I think at a certain point it was like, all right, that's cool. Like, they're women, but they're people, and like I'm half woman on my mama's side, so. That's where I'm at.
You better tell it.
Yeah, and then I came to the class so I could be around these wonderful writers here and get the chance to really sit with them. And I really wanted to see, and Valerie, who was the instructor of the class, when I went in the back with her, my first thing was, does it play? And she was like, it plays. Do it now. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I just wanted to make sure that in a room full of women, it worked. And the first thing that happened was, it wasn't even, a man wrote this. It was that catcalling thing, that works. Like, that actually happens. So it was like, all right, cool. Like, this could do it. This could happen. Yeah.
Terrific. All right. Clap it up. Clap it up. Yes. Coming to you. Well, while I'm doing this, nope, I'm not going to do it. Here we go.
Hey, great work.
Thank you.
Did you write this as two questions? Did you write this as a half hour or an hour? And how many iterations of it have you been through before it arrived to what we saw today?
So there were several drafts. There is a phone somewhere in a landfill that is, the screen is broken and you can't get into, and that's where the third draft is. So we're on number 6 now. And it is a half hour, and it's a tragic comedy, and it's 3 seasons, and I'm all the way through. We're ready to go. Yeah.
Ready to go. I like how you said that with confidence. I love it. Actually, it's inspiring something. Give me one moment. It's important that this moment is captured.
Thank you so much, Sandrine.
You're very welcome. All right. We have a question in the back. Another question. You know, y'all should have got another mic for next year. We're going to get
You
somebody.
getting your steps in, Sandrine. You got
My
this.
feet hurt now. Okay, yeah.
Hey, how you doing? So I know that when writing, dialogue is extremely hard. It seems like you work very well. Do you think that's your strong suit in writing? Because your dialogue really, for me, it really blew it out the park. I mean, the performers were great.
Yeah, one more time for them, please. Yeah.
Yes. But I think they wouldn't been able to do what they did had you not written it that way. Yeah. So tell us about your work on the dialogue, and do you believe that that's your strong suit in writing?
I definitely do. So when I'm writing, it's a lot of freestyle. So I used to rhyme. So like I just like I'm sitting in the characters. Like I said, they're a part of me now. If you ask me a question right now, I know what Mercedes would say. I know what Uvelke would say. I know what Dr. Charles would say, so I can answer it for them. But when I'm sitting with them and I'm writing, it's not really writing. Honestly, it's just speaking into the recording thing on the phone and then writing that down. Because if I sit down and write it, it just doesn't come out. It doesn't flow correctly. But when I just say it, I can get all of it back in there. Yeah. So that's my process. It's kind of like Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm Jay-Z in there, Sandrine.
Are you inspired?
Hova.
I mean, I was just going to let you keep going. I mean, you know.
I'm over here,
you freestyle.
Sandrine.
I mean.
What? Not right,
don't
Sandrine.
Make me,
don't do that, Sandrine.
I'm
Put
thinking
the
about
beatbox,
it.
Sandrine.
But, okay, well, okay. No, we won't do that. All right. Was this not entertaining? It was entertaining. Give a round of applause for Jay Ketter. Edie, one more time. Sancocho. And if you all wouldn't mind, can all 4 writers join me on the stage, please? All right. All right. So, in the order, I mean, just to be, you know. So, Magalise first, Morgan Alicia Smith, Vivian Shaw, Jay Ketter Edie. Would y'all like to take a bow? Let's do it old school. Yes. Oh, yeah, yes. Excellent. Thank you.